live, live. Welcome to Tea Time. Did motherhood mute your magic if you're a mom? Or if you are thinking about your mother and or maybe you're a man and it's your wife, or you know has motherhood muted the magic that this amazing woman that you are, has it muted your magic? Have you left behind the person that you know you are supposed to be, the gifts that you have been given? I mean, outside of motherhood, are you experiencing, exploring, living your best life? Now, I could not have Mother's Day coming up literally tomorrow and not talk about moms, okay? If you're not a mom, you certainly have one, in some way, shape, or form. Whether you were raised by your mom, your grandma, your great grandma, a stepmom, a bonus mom, you know, whatever the situation, you're here, you have a mama. Okay, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. One way or the other, there is some mothering involved. So I had this thing that was kind of bugging me about Mother's Day coming up. I was thinking to myself, okay, what are we going to talk about on tea time? Because I want it to be something that I think is relevant to everybody. But more specifically, I really wanted to kind of have us think about how these traits may be showing up in mothers, and oftentimes they somehow make their way to their children. I'm just saying, your mom is one of the most influential persons in your life. And if you're a mother, you are one of the most influential people in your children's lives. And we take it for granted how much our mothers actually affect us, and how much we take from, how much the programming that our mothers have, how much that programming and way of being and way of thinking and belief system and habits and behaviors, how much of that actually affects us. Now, you can actually use and leverage the different things that you observe about your mom to support yourself in becoming a better human being and to live a less stressful life. Sometimes, I know certainly with my kids, when my kids point out the things that I'm doing that aren't in my best interest or theirs, a lot of times it's related to overwhelm and stress and just doing too much, which is something that is very, very common for mothers, right? So there's lots of things that happen with your mom, or to you if you're a mother, that are taking away the magical side of you, are taking away the side of you that is living your best life. Sometimes, you just kind of get lost in all of the mothering. So I wanted to talk about that today. I wanted to talk about how certain habits and behaviors and things that happen when you bring a child into this world, something happens, not just to your body. Like, yes, your body goes through a complete metamorphosis, but people don't often pay attention to what happens to the mental shifts that take place. So I wanted to talk about that because tomorrow is Mother's Day. And if you have not yet sorted out yourself and make sure that you get your mother something nice, a gift, or that maybe acts of service is her love language, maybe she's into, just not doing nothing, make sure that you're setting up yourself to support your mother, right? And if you're a mom and your children them don't care about you, make sure you're doing something to support yourself. Like, don't sit around waiting. So we're going to talk about magic and how a lot of times our moms impact the way that we see the world, and we get stuck. I can tell you that you will get and can get stuck in in missing out on your own magic because you're stuck in however it is that your mom may be showing up. All right, so I have my tea this morning. I'm drinking my Indian chai tea. I have just my solo I don't know if you guys have ever noticed these solo teacups that are not the big regular mugs, but I am having my Indian chai tea. So I made it and I put it in this. This is all Jamaican, right? So the Jamaican, I like to buy things from like craft stores and stuff. And this is like real Arawak Indian looking kind of vibes, like old school teapot, you know? Anyway, so it's a really nice pottery piece and it literally came with two cups and sauce. I can't find the other one, but it's okay. I drink tea by myself all the time. So I'm having Indian chai tea this morning and I'm trying out this new oat milk. I know some of you don't like the oat milk and don't want no cow's milk, but I'm doing as much as I can to be healthy, as much as I can. As a cancer survivor, I have to make sure that I'm being good to myself, right? So let's talk all the things, okay? Because one of the things that I'm also very clear about is a lot of us don't have good relationships with our mothers. Yeah. I remember when I was a teenager and my dad got married, right? And I mean, my father has he's like an amazing man. He's very sweet and debonair, and the ladies love him. And let me tell you something. I did not get along with my stepmother when I was a teenager at all. I just thought she was the most miserable person. She just kept running around trying to clean, and it was just always about the cleaning. And then I have twin brothers, so she had twins, and there were times I had to babysit, and they were cute, so I didn't mind. I didn't like the diaper changing, but I did not get along with my stepmother at all when I was a teenager. I just thought she was mean. But it wasn't until later on in life when I had my own kids and I had my own teenagers. And I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this is why she was always like tired, stressed out, upset, because it's just so much to do, like, oh my gosh, just going, and not being able to actually tap into themselves. Right. So of course you're going to have a lot of misery. I mean, I think I've had friends where, their moms are happy all the time or happy go lucky, and it feels like they're magical people, and when you think about the fact that, your mom had to carry you inside her body, and then, it's like very dramatic. Like you watch the movies, it's like that whole biology of life is quite magical. There's no like explanation for how it all evolved. Science has kind of tracked down a few things, but the how it evolved part is really not there. You don't know how this magical thing happened. And then you think about the stress that one human being would have to go through to carry one or two, other human beings in their body, and then just having to raise them and feel completely responsible for them, you know? And so this is why I'm thinking to myself, do we actually recognize how powerful that impact is on how we think about every single day, you know? And um how we as individuals that have mothers or that interact with mothers, how we take for granted how much they actually do. And sometimes we get so lost in the discipline or lost in what may seem like upset that we don't realize it. I mean, my girls are constantly telling me that, I need to take it easy on my mom. And I'm like, what do you mean take it easy? But when I think about how sometimes I am with my mom, I know that sometimes I'm so aggressive or assertive or, just giving directions, or I don't know how to explain it. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You know how you get with your mothers. It's like you get so comfortable sometimes. Um, it's almost like you treat them like a sibling almost. Mm, that's some good tea, I swear. I really am a tea addict, and it's okay. I'm not complaining. Y'all gonna come on here and see me confessing. Mm, okay. So, what I wanted to do was I wanted to look at some of the ways that you may notice your mom behaving, or if you're a mother, you may notice yourself behaving, or if you're, if you have a baby mama or your wife, you may notice her behaving, some things like, not feeling like herself. There's this myth around, you know doing things perfectly. It's like when you become responsible for another life, you feel like everything that you do, all of the ways that you do it, that it has to be 100% perfect. You can't mess up. I mean, I was worried when I first became a mother, like with my son. I was most nervous about dropping him when I was giving him a bath, because him just little and wiggly and you put on the water, and him just slippery, and he's like moving all around, and it's like all of that. It was just uncomfortable. And so for a long time, I was very nervous about, what if I drop him, or what if he hurts himself, or what if, all the what ifs, right? And so when the pressure to do everything perfectly pushes, especially high achieving women, or, mothers who are already working and want to, keep doing what they're doing and being boss, that really leads to the potential of burnout and emotional disconnection. And even when you're a new mom, especially, you have all these different things that you can encounter, whether it's the anxiety or the pressure or the overwhelm of a situation, and you feel that you have to step back because there is just so much happening in your world, and now you have a life that you're responsible for. So when you step into that, I can do it all. I can be a boss mom, and I can not just mom it, but I can boss it. I can do every God thing, and I can do it well. That sometimes creates a ripple effect in the rest of a mother's life, where it's almost like a sacrificial thing is happening with your inner light, and you don't talk about it. You don't discuss with everybody putting your dreams on the back burner. You don't discuss with everybody not doing some of the things that you want to do, not taking as many breaks as you want to take. You don't ask for help because you feel like you should know what to do. You feel like you should have this together. I have it all together at work. I'm really great at bossing it. Why can't I now be great at momming? Like, how hard can this be? And I think what happens a lot of times is that we also get stuck in that. If you have child and then you have a man, now you have two personalities that you have to be living into. You have to live into the personality that is the perfect mom, or the mom that has it all together. Even if you're not saying that, you may still be acting it out. You may be like, I'll figure it out. Yeah, it's hard. And I watch all these TikTok videos about being mom, and I'll figure it out. It's okay. You may be saying that, but that's not what you're actually doing, right? So you're trying to fulfill all of the mother personalities, and then you want to go back now, and you want to now look over to the man, and you want to be the perfect wife or the perfect girlfriend, and still serve him and be, just all things. And then you want to go to work, and you want to be the perfect person at work, or you want to be bossing it, and you want to seem like you're holding it together. You don't want it to look like just because you've had a kid, like now you can't hold it together. But what is true is that there's a whole transformation that happens when you become a mother. There's a whole life, mind, body, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual transformation that happens when you carry a person inside your body, birth that person into the world, and then start to nurture and take care of that person. It just is happening. And so you do a disservice to yourself. If you are the mom, you do a disservice to yourself by not recognizing that you have gone through a change, a major life change. Some of us, me included, I was just like, yes, baby born, I will keep it moving. With all my kids, I went back to work too early, because I just didn't. I'm the breadwinner. I have to hold it down. I have to keep going. I remember with my son, that's my first child. You get the standard in the U.S. You get 6 weeks vacation. No, I don't know who came up with that stat. It must have been a man. It must have been a man. There is no way a woman would have come up with, okay, I'm gonna birth a child, having done it. I'm gonna birth a child, and then 6 weeks later, when my body is still healing, the baby not even can walk or talk, I'm gonna go just right back into work and leave the baby with a stranger. Nobody came up with that concept. That was a mother. No woman that was a mother came up with that concept. That was a male concept. Okay? So since we know that that was a male concept, then what is wrong with it? It does not acknowledge the fact that it does actually take work and effort. And a lot of times what ends up happening is we as children, all of y'all out there in TikTok and YouTube and Instagram world, we as children, we ignore the sacrifice that our mothers have made to bring us into this world. Worse if we not get along with the mother. Oh my God. Worse if you're not speaking to the person, you don't have a relationship with the person because you can't see eye to eye. There's a huge part of healing yourself and loving yourself enough for you to actually translate that to a relationship with somebody that gave you life. You get what I'm saying? And so when you think about your mother and what she has done in your life, and you look at her, observe this woman and see whether or not her true identity is there. See whether or not she's, like on autopilot, almost missing out on life. See if, even though she may be putting out there that she's having a fun time, you know, does she spend a lot of time in sadness? Is she lonely? Yeah. And ask her, ask her what it is that she wanted to create for her life. Ask her questions. Get curious, get curious with this woman about who she wanted to be when she was a little girl. Like, did you actually live into the person that you want to be? And if she did, are there areas of your life that you weren't able to live into the person that you wanted to be? You know, are there parts of you that you didn't get to experience? Are there things that you wished you had done that you never got to do? I mean, kids, I don't think as children we connect to our mothers like that, because they literally become this person in your life that you're used to being there, you're used to her taking care of you, and you miss the opportunity to see whether or not motherhood actually mute her magic, right? So was she impacted by the myth of having it all? You know? So what happens when you're trying to do everything perfectly? The person begins to disappear. You may not even know your mother. Like, seriously, you may not even know who your mom truly is. She may be somebody completely different than the person that she shows to you. Because what happens is that's that personality that was being groomed. When a child comes in and you feel like you're now serving that child 100%, and you have to make sure that this person makes it, their real inner self, their dreams, their goals, their desires, that woman that she may have dreamt of becoming, that person, if it's not the whole person, parts of that person can begin to disappear. Not on the outside, because mamas, you best believe we're the best fakers ever. Mamas are the best fakers ever. So not on the outside. On the outside, you still show up, you still act like you bossing it, but something on the inside goes quiet. Your magic, your radiance, your softness. Sometimes you get, especially when you think about like a Jamaican mother, oh my gosh, old school Jamaican moms, them just rough, rough, rough round every edge. And it's because sometimes you grow up in such difficult environments that the only way you feel you can survive is that roughness. And it's because of over functioning. Are you over functioning as a mother? Is your mom over functioning? Is she doing too much for you and not enough for herself? Is her identity not really there because the only thing she can identify as his mother, and she can't let go of you guys? Like, she wants you in the house because if you leave, she doesn't know who she is. If the kids go off, I don't know who I am. Is that your reality right now? But you know what? It's actually being able to become aware of what motherhood can actually do to your magic and how motherhood can alter your identity is the first step to creating that shift that says you're not just a mother, you're a woman, you're a creator, you are a soul that has a purpose beyond this service of being mom. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a mom of three and a bonus mom of two. I really love mothering. I love it. I think motherhood is divine. As a matter of fact, I enjoy the babies, and now I'm learning to enjoy the teen phase. It's very challenging, not gonna lie. Trying to figure out where I fit in, trying to figure out who I am at the different phases, because the mom that you are for a baby differs from the mom that you are for a toddler versus the mom that you are for a preteen versus a teen versus an adult. And literally, guys, I have been through and I'm going through different stages of all of that at all at the same time. Like, it's insane to experience, and it's almost like you have to take on different personalities of mother. So it's like you have your own personality, and then you have to take on now the different mother personalities for the different phases of mothering. I mean, it's like you could literally lose your mind. You become hyper attuned to the needs of other people. And it's not just the kids. You become hyper attuned to the needs of the father of the kids or the husband that you have in your space, or the baby daddy. You become hyper attuned to the people at work. You become hyper attuned to your own mother, it just shifts your entire perspective. And sometimes because of that, we get into this trap of control and constant giving. High achieving women, especially moms, we fall into this loop. It looks like, well, if I don't do it, it won't get done. If I ask for help, that means I'm failing. If I slow down, I'll probably fall apart because I won't feel like I have any use, or I'll feel like things aren't going to get done, and then I'm going to get upset and stressed, and it'll be more. And this is called overfunctioning, people. This is not normal. And for kids, even grown kids that contribute more to that overfunctioning, you have to pay attention to how your mom is showing up. Is your mom the one that wants to do everything, wants to control everything? My kids are always telling me to relax. They know, like, literally, I can tell you, my daughters are always telling me, relax, let it go. What are you doing? Why are you getting on about that? Like they're always telling me that because I get trapped in that cycle that I just talked about. If I don't do it, it won't get done. If I ask for help, I'm failing. If I slow down, I'm falling apart. And it kills your joy. If you're a mom, you are suffocating yourself. So let me say this to all the moms out there with love. Okay? Your worth is not in how much you manage. Your value is not in how many people need you. You do not have to earn rest. You do not have to earn softness and ease. You do not have to earn pleasure. It is a natural part of your life, and you need to embrace it, because if you don't embrace that, you deserve that. Your kids, your baby daddy, your husband, nobody's going to embrace it for you, sweetie. And if you feel kind of stuck or numb or heavy, that's not failure. That's a sacred signal saying to you, come home. Come home to who you are. That's your soul telling you, I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of serving everybody else and not myself. That's your soul saying, I'm just tired. Mama, let us remember who we are. Remember who you are. Remind your mother of who she is. Stillness, ease, time off is not weakness. It is literally putting yourself back in the womb of transformation. You went through an epic transformation having a child, and you have not given yourself enough time to transform for yourself, to allow your identity to embrace mothering and to emerge as a whole being, not just a mom, but all of you. So I'm going to give you one primary tip, which is really about remembering the woman that is inside the mommy. You got to remember her. You got to make efforts to remember the woman that is inside of the mommy. Okay? So ask yourself this question. You can journal if you want. My journals here, I love my journals. They are available on Amazon. Yeah. Living with Intention and Inspirational Journal. It's a great place to put. It's a great thing for moms, actually. There's literally like pictures and prompts and stuff. So get out your journal, right? And write down this question. What lights me up that has nothing to do with anyone else's needs? What lights me up as a mom that has nothing to do with anyone else's needs? Write it down. And if you are somebody who loves a mother, whether it's your wife, your partner, your own mom, your sister, try this. Sit with her, hold her hands, or if you don't feel like you want to hold her hand, because some of us, we're just not that close. It's okay, it's real. But sit with your mom, hold her hand, ask her, when was the last time you felt like you? When was the last time you felt like you? What would help you feel radiant again? What would help you feel magical again? What would help you feel? If you say magical, she's going to laugh. That's the first thing. What would help you feel magical again, mom? Ask her. How can I support you in rediscovering you? How can I support you in rediscovering you? Okay? And for the mommies out there that are getting ready to celebrate Mother's Day tomorrow, I want you to start this daily ritual. Make it a part of your mindful morning routine. On my YouTube channel, guys, I actually have a mindful morning challenge. It's a 21-day challenge that I did at the beginning of 2025 of this year. So I want you to go and check out that mindful morning challenge. But for mamas, especially, you know, as you go into Mother's Day, tomorrow morning, when you wake up, ask yourself, what do I need to feel like me today? And every morning following tomorrow morning, which is Mother's Day, ask yourself that question. What do I need to feel like me today? Before everybody start to come and pull at you, you may wake up in the bed beside the baby, but as soon as your eyes, or as soon as your mind, because sometimes you'll have awareness before you even open your eyes, just ask yourself that question. Take a deep breath in and ask yourself, what do I need to feel like me today? Try it again. Breathe in, exhale. What do I need to feel like me today? Then give yourself just one drop of that answer. It might be a stretch. It might be, I need to be selfish today. It might be, I need to sleep a little later. Whatever that is for you. It's just a way that you can reclaim yourself, even if it's just for 5 minutes before the baby start clawing at you. All right. And I want to give a special invitation for those of you who have mommies that deserve the best for Mother's Day. I want you to check out comeaway.epictransformation.net, where I have a special Mother's Day retreat that is coming up in June. I know, but the whole thing is if you give it to her for Mother's Day or even after Mother's Day, she's going to want time to plan, to get away, to do all the things. And if she can't make the retreat, there's a master class that I'm hosting to support moms, because I'm a mama and I've been through the phases. I'm still going through the phases, and I have learned so much that I want to inspire you with. Just check it out. Check out my Instagram page because there are links there. Go to comeaway.epictransformation.net and check out the Mother's Retreat that is happening in June 6th to 8th of 2025. I want you to check it out in Jamaica at a beautiful 5-star resort where literally you go there to sleep, have champagne, make some candles, and talk about all the ways that you are going to reclaim the magic that you may have missed in motherhood. Thank you so much for joining Tea Time, guys. Have a wonderful Saturday. Have a beautiful Mother's Day. And I will see you next week on another epic of Tea Time. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Take care. Take care. Bye-bye.